It has been 1 year since the merger of Cedar Fair and Six Flags became official, and here are the 5 best decisions the company has made, followed by the 5 biggest mistakes that we have seen within the first year. What is going on? This is Theme Park Brandon, and this is a very touchy subject and video, but I had to make it because I want to share my thoughts, but most importantly, I want to kind of understand where you're at with this merger. What are your feelings? What do you like? What don't you like? I want this to be a very interactive video. I'm going to respond and check out every comment, and at least like this affects all of us, not just content creators like myself. So with that being said, let's start off with the 5 biggest things that I like that's happened in the first year of the merger. Now, first things first, whenever a company merges with another company, things are not always going to go as planned. We all have to understand that and respect that. Obviously, there's a lot of issues out there with the merger, and that's a lot of it is understandable, and it just comes with the territory of this massive type of thing that these companies have done. Remember, they went from 15 parks in the Six Flags chain and 11 in the Cedar Fair, just major dry parks that is, not including the water parks, and now it's all merged together. That's crazy. So, you know, and whoever, if you're working for a Six Flags or Cedar Fair former park, thank you for working. I know it's not been the easiest of times with all the turmoil and changes and structure issues and everything else, but thank you so much for working and providing a great escape for myself and many other people out there to go out and enjoy the theme park and have a great time. So thank you very much, and I wish nothing but success for you this year and throughout next year and so forth. Alright, let's talk about the 5 best decisions the company has made. Obviously, we have to start off with the Giga Dive going over Texas. I love it. It's a great fit for this park. Six Flags Over Texas really needs a standout coaster, and they've not built a ground-up coaster, full circuit one that is, since Texas Giant. That's crazy. I mean, you have the Joker's, you know, free spin, whatever it's called, sure, and Aquaman, but big time coaster. It's been quite some time, and Over Texas needs reliability, a smooth coaster, inversions, and obviously high capacity. And that's what they're going to get with this record-breaking Giga Dive that's around 309 feet tall. That's insane. So for them to be able to build this, and not to mention, it's not just the fact that they're building it, but it's the location in the park that they're building it. This is a grand slam decision by the company, and I love every aspect of it. Because everyone walking in and out of Over Texas, you're going to be dominated by this massive 309 foot tall dive coaster that is located right next to the park's entrance. So, great job. That is a great decision. Next up is focusing more on Magic Mountain. Recently, the company stated that they want to heavily invest in Magic Mountain to hopefully double the attendance of the park. Now, obviously, that's going to be very, very hard to do as far as doubling the attendance. But I would love for them to try, because that means new investments, making the park better, more well-rounded, cleaner, better restrooms, better restaurants, etc. And I would love to see what the plan is for Magic Mountain. Obviously, we know 2026, the park will be opening up a new coaster. I do not think it's going to take a long time after that for them to open up their next one, because remember, this Vekoma coaster coming in 2026 was already purchased and bought when it was former Six Flags, not the new merged company. Remember that. So whatever they have planned, they're thinking after this attraction. So I really am intrigued and excited for the expedited timeline of new additions, new rides, new coasters for Magic Mountain. This one here isn't as fun as a roller coaster, but it's great as far as overall value in the park. The better restaurants. This really focuses more on the former Six Flags, where that's one thing that those parks really lacked was efficiency, clean, and quality, better quality food. And we have seen it throughout most of the former Six Flags parks, whether they're adding their own in-park chef, or redoing some of the restaurants, updating the menu, better quality food. That goes a long way for the overall park experience. Remember, people don't go to parks just for coasters. They go for the experience. The shows, the kid rides, family rides, the walking to the different themed areas, the restaurants. So I love what they're doing with the food, and I'm excited to see how this progresses over the next few years as well. And speaking of that, the next one is cleaning up the parks. This goes to all the parks, but mainly the former Six Flags, obviously. But you're talking new paint, cleaner midways, new paint on the buildings, but not to mention, but a lot of the older coasters have gotten repaints, and they look phenomenal. I really, really like what the new Six Flags is doing here. They're making these parks look cleaner, more fresh, and more appealing, which is just going to make people want to visit and come back more and more. So keep on doing that. I absolutely love that. One last decision that I really like is everything under one pass. I'm really excited to see how this is going to progress, especially this coming year into 2026. Obviously, this year you can buy the all-park passport to have all the parks under one pass, but it does not work with all the additional add-ons like the meal plan, the drink plan, the fast lane. So I definitely think come 2026, everything will be under one pass. And I think it's just going to be so much easier and nicer knowing that you can go to any park and have the fast lane if you're able to do that, the meal plan, the drink plan, etc. Because right now it kind of stinks knowing that you can only kind of stinks knowing that you can only go to one side of the chain for those benefits no matter where you bought it at. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm going to give you a bonus one as far as the best decisions go. And this might trigger some people, and I'm sorry if it does. But removing the crappy rides. I'm sorry. I had to say it. Like, there's obviously reasons why Anaconda, Nighthawk, and a few other ones out there that got removed. Time Warp at Canada's Wonderland. It just makes sense. It was time. These parks desperately need to get cleaned up and reinvested in, and why keep a ride that's going to be high maintenance costs or low ridership or any other reason. So as much as it saddens me to see a ride go, it's not like they're tearing down Orion or X2 as of yet, hopefully not. But I will say Kingda Ka, and that's coming up here in a minute, that was messed up. Now let's talk about the 5 biggest mistakes. And my channel, I like to be as positive as I can. But here's the thing about that, right? I'm human. I pinch myself. I feel it. You're allowed to be negative to a point in life, and you have to have a positive outlook on it. So that's where I kind of go with this. I'm not trying to be really, really negative, but more or less optimistic negative. But as far as the 5 biggest mistakes, the delays. I mean, come on now. From Quantum Accelerator at Six Flags New England, to AlpenFury, to Carowinds rides not being open up on time. I mean, what the heck is going on? I will say they knocked it out of the park with Rapterra at King's Dominion, and even the Wrath of Rashaza over at Great America. But some of these rides and attractions, it just seems like, what is going on? Why are they not opening up on time? And same goes to Siren's Curse. I mean, they really expedited to get that attraction open as soon as they did. They did a great job. But some of these rides, and it's not just Six Flags, but other companies out there too. It's like, what? Come on now. These rides are supposed to open up for this season. You advertise it, and now they're not. And it's just unfortunate. And again, this happens to other companies too, but it seems like obviously more in the Six Flags chain this year. Now this next one honestly is sad, but while I am upset about it, I understand why. And that is Six Flags America closing that park down forever at the end of the year. Why? Like, I get it. as a business perspective, I understand you have Dorney Park to the north, Great Adventure to the northeast, King's Dominion to the south. It makes sense as to why you don't really necessarily need a park in the DC area. However, with that being said, there are so many people that live within an hour's drive of Six Flags America. I put this blame not on the merger, but I put it on the legacy Six Flags. This company clearly never had a great business plan and a growth plan for Six Flags America for the last 20 some years? So I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. This park should have been much better than what it is. It should never be closing, and this park should have a better overall experience, and sadly it's not. So goodbye Six Flags America. I hope some of the rides get relocated, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Now, here's one that's it's kind of controversial, but I have to say it. Continuing working with B&M. Why? I don't know about you, but I've never been a big person that complains about a rattle, but lately it's kind of hard not to notice the rattle on Iron Menace, Rapterra, and a few of the other B&M coasters that are out there. I've even heard Rapterra at Great America is really rough in the back row on the sides. So what is going on with B&M? That's the big question. The stuff like this should not be happening, because when you ride Gatekeeper, Thunderbird, Wild Eagle, there's no rattle at all, really at all. And when you ride Rapterra, a ride that's open for 3 months, it's like this ride feels like it's 10 or 15, 20, 30 years old. So I really hope going forward, the new Six Flags will stop working with B&M until they get their crap together and stop the rattles, and hopefully branch out to other companies like obviously Mack Rides, Vekoma, Intamin, RMC, Gerstlauer, etc. Which brings me to RMC. There's no signs as of right now that the new company Six Flags plans to work with RMC going forward. And that really is, it's unfortunate. I really wish that wasn't the case, and I'll even say the same for Intamin. I mean, there's so many grudges that the legacy Cedar Fair parks have, and even Six Flags have them too, but not as much, it seems like. I just wish that all the companies can come together and build quality rides and communicate, and both sides do their part to making these rides become world-class attractions. So I really hope that RMC and Intamin can be in the portfolio of the new Six Flags parks going forward when it comes to new rides and attractions, because we all know the world needs more Intamins, and the world definitely needs more RMCs. So hopefully that is still coming, because there's still a lot of crappy wooden coasters in the current Six Flags parks that could really benefit from RMC. Now, the final one is touchy, but Kingda Ka, the way they closed Kingda Ka and how they did it is rather unfortunate. I mean, long live the king. For this ride, the world's tallest, fastest here in America, and at the time they closed it down, it was for them to just not give notice. And I see both sides as to why they would do it. You know, for one hand, you don't want to promote, hey, come ride Kingda Ka in 2025 for your last ride, because we're going to rip it down on this date, whatever it would be. Because then you have people planning their trip there, and then all of a sudden, what happens if the ride closes early, or it's not up, or they have to, there's so many variables there. So it's a very touchy subject. What I think they should have done personally is at the end of last year, when they knew they're going to tear it down, give everyone a month notice. Hey, in the next month, we are going to be operating Kingda Ka as much as we can. There might be some downtime, but we will be ripping it out permanently on this date. And they didn't do that. And it's really affecting the crowds at Great Adventure. And hopefully their project 2026 is not delayed. I heard it's not canceled, which is fantastic. But the new record-breaking launch coaster really needs to open up in 2026. to make Great Adventure even a better park next year and higher attendance levels. So if you like Kingda Ka, check out keepridingcoasters.com for this shirt here. And with that being said, those are my thoughts on the current Six Flags over the course of the last year, what I like, what I don't like. Please let me know your thoughts as well. And if you are curious as to my predictions on what I think is coming to each Six Flags park in 2026, then be sure to check out the video at the bottom of your screen. With that being said, this is Theme Park Brandon. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and of course keep riding coasters.